What if the only thing that is actually preventing you from pursuing your purpose is only one question? That is the exact same thing that happened to one of the ladies that joined the Purpose Alignment Coaching Program. So I asked her one question, and the question was, if money wasn't a problem, what would you do? She paused. She told me, let me go think about it and come back with an answer the next day. So the entire of this episode, we are going to see what actually changed for her and what she is currently doing, because she's doing amazing things, and what framework actually helped her and guide her throughout the entire process. Hello everyone, and welcome yet to another episode of Your Purpose with Edda. Here we have all conversations about purpose and personal development. Welcome. If you are a new subscriber, I'm sure you have subscribed. That is why I'm calling you a subscriber. Welcome. We love new people here, and I'm sure you are going to benefit from what we share here, because I know by the fact that you subscribe to this specific episode, you're a person who loves personal development. You're a person who loves yourself, and that is why you want to know more about yourself, and this is the right place for you. Welcome, and to the community at large, let's continue having that conversation. And in today's episode, we are going to talk about the framework that actually helped a lady, or actually 3 different ladies, move from a place where they were not having the clarity to a place where they had the clarity, and that is the Purpose Alignment Program. That is what I've been running throughout the entire for the past 2 months, and finally the cohort graduated. I am so proud of them, and I'm just going to give you the feedback that I got from the Purpose Alignment Coaching Program. And I know that somebody somewhere is going through the different problems that the people came in with as they were starting the program. So I know you are there somewhere thinking of, I have all these ideas. Like, there is a lady who was telling me, I know how to cook, I know how to speak in public, I know how to write, I'm a very good writer. And maybe you relate to that story because you have all these things in you. And of course, we want you to be able to get to a place where you are utilizing your potential, you're utilizing your capacity, your skills, your abilities to your highest potential. But first, we need clarity on where we need to go. Because if we look at all these things as everything that is here with us, of course it's going to overwhelm us, because you're a good cook, you're a good baker, you are a good writer, you're a good speaker. So what exactly are you supposed to focus on? And that is why we are here, because that is the problem most people have, because people just do not have clarity, or they do not know where to begin with, by them having all these gifts that God has given them. So, and that is why we are having this episode today, just to ensure that you actually get to understand what exactly that you need to focus on. Because you know what? God gave you all those things to support you in different means. And once you identify all those different things, all the different giftings, all the different talents that you have, then you are able to know what gift it goes to whatever basket, and then you are able to show up with clarity. But otherwise, if you have everything in one basket, of course it's going to overwhelm you. So that is what we are going to talk about today, and I am so happy, I am so glad to be doing this with you all. But first, let me bring you on board on what the program is all about. So the program is called the Purpose Alignment Coaching Program, and this is a program that I run with my coaches. It's a 2-month program where we get to understand who we are at our core, because you know what? Who we are at our core relates to what our purpose is. It is actually directly linked to what our purpose is. And that is why God put all these things in you. God put all these abilities in you, all these giftings, so that you can be able to use them to your purpose, in your purpose. So once you identify who you are as an individual, then of course your purpose is going to be very clear. But if you do not know who you are, it's going to be very difficult to know what your purpose is. And that is what most people are actually struggling with. People are actually struggling with identifying what their purpose is, discovering what their purpose is, but they are not going to the manufacturer, who is God, just seeing what did God place in you that can actually help you be able to know what your purpose is. So stop asking yourself, what is my purpose, what is my purpose, if you're not going inward. So the entire framework, the entire program is built on a framework, and this framework just helps you to understand who you are at your core, what your spiritual gifts are, what your abilities are, what your passions are, what your personality is, which is very key, your personality is very key when identifying your purpose, because it comes to your thoughts, your emotions, your belief systems, and then also what your experiences are. Because once you understand all these things, of course, then you will be able to tell that your life is supposed to go in a different direction, in a specific direction, because this is what God has placed in your entire life. So that is what the entire program is about. So once we have identified who you are, then we are able to map you directly to what your purpose is, and that is where we come in as a purpose coach. But of course, the entire work of understanding who you are, that is something that we have to do together with you. And once we have identified your purpose, then we are able to guide you on whether you are supposed to continue with the business, create a business, or even be able to find a career that is linked to who we are. Because remember what happened when we were joining campus. I know for sure when we were joining campus, most of us were just looking for either a university or a course that is actually going to help you find, that is actually meeting the cluster points. So if your cluster points were meeting the course requirements, then you were going to go with it. But what about what you want as an individual? Was it really looked into? So that is why we need to have this program, so that we, at this point now, since we are adults, we are able to say that I did this specific course in school, in my campus, and it's not something that I am actually energized to do, or it's not something that is linked to who I am as an individual, and so I'm choosing to change a career into this other different thing that is linked to who I am as an individual. Because once we start operating in alignment, then we are able to actually move in alignment in every area of our lives. So that is why this specific program is very important, and that is what most of the people who have joined through the program have been able to get. Because I don't want us to continue living in a manner that is just linked to societal expectations, linked to moving on autopilot, linked to because you just did this specific course in campus, now I have to continue living this specific life. You are an adult, and that is why you are very much responsible for yourself. So if you did that specific course because your cluster points allowed you to do that specific course, and it is not a course that is linked to who you are, it's not something that you are comfortable to continue pursuing, then this specific program is for you. Or if actually you are feeling stuck, your work is going on very well, but you still feel some inner mismatch between what you're doing and between how you're living your life, this specific course is for you. Or somebody else, if you have all these gifts that you have and you're not able to find that clarity on what specific direction to follow, then this specific course is for you. In this specific video, I don't want to just tell you what works or what has worked for me. I want to show you what has worked for people specifically who have gone through the program and see the transformation that has happened for them over time. Okay, so this is one of the coaches who joined the program, actually the first cohort, and this is what she had to say before joining the program. She said, I joined the Purpose Alignment Coaching Program because I wanted to gain deeper clarity about who I am, what I am called to do, and how to live a life that feels meaningful and aligned. I have always been passionate about nurturing, encouraging, and helping others grow, and I wanted to understand how my gifts, experiences, and passions connect to my purpose. The program gave me an opportunity to grow personally, build confidence, and become more intentional in the way I lead, I serve, and create impact in the lives of others. I joined because I believe there is more inside me, and I wanted guidance and support to fully step into the woman I am becoming. Wow, that is just one of the ladies, and that is her So that is one of the questions that I asked, that what made you join the purpose alignment coaching program? Because this is a very important step for me to know, even as a coach. Why do you want to join the program? Because we are all different people and we have to treat each other differently. So this is a lady who just wanted to understand who she was more and connect with herself more. And she knew that she was made for more, but it was not very clear to her what exactly that more is. And that is exactly what she left with at the end of the program. This is something else that you could relate with, and it could be that you are in that specific situation that, and you could relate with this specific thing that another person said. I asked, how did you feel about your direction, your purpose before joining the program? And this is what she had to say. Before joining the program, before joining the Purpose Alignment Coaching Program, I often felt uncertain about my direction and struggled to fully connect all the different parts of my life. I knew I had gifts, passions, and a desire to make a meaningful impact, but I did not always feel clear or confident about how everything fit together. At times, I felt like I was carrying many responsibilities while still searching for deeper fulfillment, alignment, and purpose. I wanted my life, work, and personal growth to reflect who I truly am, not just what was expected of me. Deep inside, I knew I was meant for more, but I needed clarity, guidance, and support to better understand my purpose and move forward with intention and confidence. And somebody else has mentioned that I had an idea, but I was scared and I kept procrastinating. And somebody else mentioned I was starting to live and build on it, so there is little self doubt. So I know you can relate with what either of these ladies or whatever stages that they were in before joining the program. And let me read for you what they said their experience was during the program. I asked them to rate the program, and it was between 1 to 10, and most of them gave one of them gave a 9 over 10, and another person gave a 10 out of 10. That was lovely. Of course, having talked about what they felt before they started the program, I have to talk about how they felt after finishing the program. And this is what they had to say. I asked, how do you now think differently about your purpose, goals, and life direction? And this is what they had to say. One person said, I think in purpose point of view, how does this align with my purpose? That was a very good answer. And the other one said, I now think about my purpose, my goals, and life direction with much more clarity and confidence. Instead of feeling uncertain or scattered, I see my life as something intentional and guided by my values, strength, and passions. I am more aware of what truly matters to me, and I am learning to align my decisions with that inner truth. My purpose no longer feels distant or unclear. It feels more grounded, personal, and something I am actively living out step by step. And somebody also said, everything changed. How I think now that I know what direction I want to take. It all changed. I am loving this specific feedback that I got from my clients. And this is just to show you that you are one question away from your purpose. You are one constructive criticism away from your purpose. You are one coaching away from your purpose. You are one course away from your purpose. And you do not have to live this life like it's not your life. I want you to live this life like you own it. You are the driver of your life, and that you are the one to determine which way to go with your life. And I want you to be the person who leads where your life goes. The Bible tells us that we are co-creators of God, and it is the same way that if God gives an instruction, then you need to obey and move in accordance to how God wants you to move. And I want you to and I want to tell you that you are the light of this world. You are the light of this world. I received this beautiful, beautiful drawing. Let me show you. And it makes a lot of sense that this is a mountain and you are this light right here. And so if you have this light here, You are not supposed to be under here. You are supposed to be here so that you can be able to shine through to all the people around you. And that is the exact same thing that the Bible tells us, that you are the light. And if you are the light, you're supposed to be on the mountaintop and not hide under the table. So this is a reminder to you that you are the light and you have a purpose and you are meaningful, and you need to know what your purpose is and start living in alignment with who you are, with your purpose, because there is a lot of peace that you get knowing very well that you are moving in alignment with who you are, that you are not people pleasing, that you are making decisions that are aligned with who you are, such that if any of those decisions actually do not yield the fruits that you had intended to have, even if there are consequences, you are okay facing those consequences, because you know what, you made decisions with a very clear mindset, instead of moving always with the society in mind, but leaving yourself alone. At the end of the day, you're going to leave this earth by yourself, and you'll be asked, were you a good steward? And you will have to answer. Then you will not be asked, did you meet the people's expectations? No, you had your own expectations, and those are the things that you ought to have met. And so I want to remind you that keep on doing and living in alignment with who you are. So if you just had all the feedback that I have provided for you from the cohort 1 people, if you had all those struggles that they were going through and where they actually came from and now where they are at, if you felt that some of those struggles are some of the struggles that you are going through right now, I want you to move with a sense of urgency. You are moving for your life. And the thing is that people do not have to wait for you to make a decision tomorrow. You can still make that decision today and move in accordance with that decision. So if you are facing all those challenges, if you are feeling stuck in whatever that you're feeling, if you feel that you have all these gifts in you but you do not know where to begin, if you need some clarity in your life, if you feel that you have a lot of maybe societal expectations at the back of your mind and you keep on not moving forward because you are carrying this entire load in your mind, this is a specific program for you. If you are there and you are feeling you don't know what business to start, or you feel that you want to have a career change but you still don't know what, or you feel that there is a mismatch between your current career and where you want to go next, this is the specific program for you, because at the end of the day, you are making that choice for yourself today. Your tomorrow will be better tomorrow because you made that choice for yourself today. And actually, one of the ladies mentioned to me that the same lady who mentioned that she wanted to do whatever she wanted to do during retirement, she started the program when we were still doing the program, because she got that clarity. I asked different questions, she got the clarity, and now she's able to spearhead and steward many other people who are just looking at her, and it just had to decide with one decision. So once you make that decision, then everything else flows through. And I'm not saying that once you discover your purpose is also an easy journey. Whatever decision that you make, of course there are the challenges that come with it, there are the happy moments that come with it, so it's just part of life. But what the good thing is that you will be moving with clarity. And I pray that we all actually have that clarity at the end of the day. We want to be moving into rooms because we know we are positioned to be there, that literally God gave us this idea and we are in these specific rooms because God has positioned us to be there, and we do not have to have that imposter syndrome, because we know who we are and we know that we are moving in accordance to what we are called to move to do. So I have put the link on the description box. If you would love to join the next cohort, I have put the link on the description box, and you can be able to fill it in and apply, and I will be able to reach out to you and we can have the continuous conversation. I want to see each and every person living in alignment with who they are. You need to live an aligned life. So check out connecthub.com. Also, if you are looking for further support in terms of your wellness, check out connecthub.com. You'll find more free resources right there. And also click on the description box and check out the link, and I will be able to reach out to you and we can continue the conversation. I want all of us, let us be this passionate, the way I am feeling passionate about talking about all this topic. Let us all be passionate in whatever area that God has meant for us. All right, see you next time, and until then, remember, own your story. Bye.